Okay. The next section that we are going to do here is titled Growth Through Mergers. Um, and a merger is when you have two companies that come together. You see this all the time. And as you get older and you start paying more attention to things like the stock market, right? You're gonna regularly see mergers between companies. And mergers are done for a variety of reasons. One merger is called a horizontal merger. And this is where two companies that do the same thing merge together to form one company. Trying to think of some concrete examples here. It's like let's just pretend if didn't Sprint combine with like one of the mobile companies, right? When two companies who do the same thing combine, they become a bigger company, right? They become more powerful. They combine resources, right? So all of the Sprint things now go to the mobile place, and they are able to um, do more, reach more customers, have more power, more strength, more combined assets. This is a traditional merger. Okay. And again, so it's oftentimes done to compete with competition. Maybe, over here, AT&T merged with, I don't know, Verizon or something. And then, you have this bigger company and well, us two will merge together and we'll be able to compete now better with this bigger company or something along these lines. Um, a vertical merger is very different. And it's when two companies who are on different places of the same supply chain merge. So if I am a baseball bat company and I merge with a lumber company that cuts down the trees, this would be a vertical merger, right? Where we're all doing the same thing. We're getting wood for bats. But I'm going to buy the company that cuts down the trees so I can get my wood at a cheaper cost. So I can get it at cost, at whatever it costs for me to hire people and trucks and whatever else to cut the trees down, to bring them in and turn the trees into bats, right? And then when they come to me as bats, then I do whatever I do to make it or they come to me as wood dowels maybe, and then I'm going to turn them into bats, and I'm going to do whatever I do to make a bat. So horizontal mergers, two companies, same thing, merge together. Vertical merger is when one company merges with a company that's somewhere else in the supply chain that maybe I'm a baseball bat company and now I'm also going to buy a baseball bat store. So I'm going to sell my baseball bats that I make. Also, I own the company that cuts down the trees. So now I own all aspects of this supply chain that I can then get my stuff for cheap. I get my wood for the cost. I get my bats for the cost. I'm not getting this markup. No one's making a profit on me, and then I sell them straight to the people at the same price that everyone else is selling their bats, maybe a bit below, and I'm making a ton of cash because there's no profit taking anywhere along the way. So we see this, just keep an eye out for it, right? You're going to see it over and over again, these huge companies combining together to do what's really what in the long run is going to be helpful for their individual business. All right. Another thing that we're seeing more and more common in our society, I'm not sure, if we're at a moment where there is more large corporate control of the economy than, say, small business control of the economy. I don't exactly know. I know that this was common, and then Teddy Roosevelt came in. He busted up a lot of these monopolies and tried to make it so that there weren't just a handful of large companies that owned everything. But it's kind of happening again, and I'm not sure if it's good or bad, or some of these companies should be broken up. I don't know. But what we're seeing also is companies now becoming conglomerates. Okay, a conglomerate is a company like Nestle, right? So I own Nestle, and we make candy, right? And make a bunch of money selling candy. That's what I do. We're Nestle, right? Um, but I have all this extra money that I've been given by my investors, and I've kind of maxed out how much money I can make on candy. There's only so much money I can make on candy. So what do I do with all this extra money? I'm going to buy other companies that have nothing to do with candy. I'm just going to buy other companies and try and take this money that I'm making from my stockholders, and I'm going to do other stuff. So you see, Nestle also owns some pizza hot pockets. Well, I guess food's food. That's not too abnormal. They own some coffee places. Food, drink, same basic ballpark. They own some water places. Okay, still, right, not that abnormal. Here's our candy, right? We know we do candy here at Nestle. Gerber's baby food, Chef-O-Matic, Power Bars. Okay, we're still kind of seeing the basics, aren't we? Now Laffy Taffy, Nerds, okay, candy, right? Nestle's a food company now. It's not a candy company. Wait, Ralph Lauren, Diesel, clothing companies? Wait a minute, what's this up here? Maybelline? I own makeup companies too? Vichy? I don't know what that is. Kohl's? Is that equal? I don't know, but there's some makeup companies here, and the Body Shop. And then up here is dog food. So you say like, well, Nestle's a food company. No, it's no longer a candy company. And but why do they own clothing stores? Why do they own makeup? And this is now becoming like super common that these companies are out there, and they're taking some of this extra money they're getting in there, and they're just buying profitable companies. They're trying to make money in different avenues. And in the book, we look at 3M, and it's interesting, right? Because 3M is kind of like a paper company, and they do tape, and they do this kind of thing, boxes, right? We talked about 3M when we talked about masks at one point earlier in the semester. But now we're finding out that they're making more money doing other stuff, industrial, transportation. They do healthcare, really. I mean, I guess masks make sense, graphics and design. All of these companies, these rich companies, they're branching out, they're doing other things, right? And they're making a ton of cash in different kind of industries. We saw that in our warm-up where it was like Amazon also does web, company web pages. And I mean, I guess it would make sense under mergers, right? That like Facebook merges with Instagram, right? They do the same thing, right? Connect them. But now we're seeing that sometimes these mergers, these companies that come together, or maybe I'm starting up a whole new company, I think, they're in total different things. They're in total different types of categories of product. And that would be called a conglomerate. When you have a company that owns just a bunch of everythings. And then we have the last thing we're going to talk about here, multinationals. These are these corporations that are not just in America or in their country, their home country, but they're also being sold around the world. They have, my home base is in Ireland because taxes are low there. My manufacturing is in China or Vietnam nowadays, right? But we're an American company, multinational corporations. And these are probably the people who are merging, right? These are probably the people who are conglomerates, these big corporations who we said earlier, have they become too powerful?